positions.
Okay. We have 9 new applications for non-resident students. We have 5 kindergarten students to 2nd grade, 1 5th grade, 1 10th grade students who would like to attend our school. I do have to say this with the kindergarten students. We are reaching a level at the kindergarten where we're going to be within about 5 students of maximum capacity with these 5 students being approved. And just so you're aware, it could cause us to have to hire a new teacher at the beginning of the year if we see a spike in enrollment between now and the start of the school year. So I would ask that the board give some consideration to this. There's one of 2 ways that you can handle this situation. You can handle it with approval of the out-of-district attendance applications at this time, with the caveat that their applications could be withdrawn at the beginning of the school year if enrollment dictates that we need to remove them. Or you can just go ahead and ask the students to come on board and we can take a look at hiring a teacher if possible. To hire a teacher means we would have to look into our supply budgets that we currently have funded and cutbacks that we create in our budget to hire a new person now on. Point for discussion.
Well, I would be willing to accept them on the condition that when we first start, that we are not having to hire another teacher.
I think we ought to take them on board and just wait and see. We get reimbursement for each kid, even though it's not in our district, right?
Yeah, if we enroll them into our district, then what ends up happening is you get the state average number belonging count. So with that enrollment count at the end of September is when the count date is.
So if we had to hire a teacher, we would at least be having enough coming in from the other district students.
It would be close. It would be close. Not quite.
I think we should just go with, go ahead and come to school because just say what's going to happen. Our population in the school is declining. What I mean outside.
You said that the non-resident applicants or the district policy does state that if it is any class that becomes over numbers that requires us to hire a new teacher, that we have the right. You know, and
Doesn't say we have to.
doesn't say we have to.
Yeah, with
But
that in
we have
mind.
the ability that they would have to be reconsidered.
So we're not if that happens.
But one of the things I'd caution you on at this point is that our budget is set for this next year. Even if we were to take on 15 more kindergarten students, it would look to justify keeping the students in for hiring a new teacher. We would not have the money this year for that new teacher, and that money would not be collected until it was averaged into the next cycle, which would be next year, under your enrollment.
So you're telling us that after, if we were to accept these 5, that we've only got 5 more spots?
Correct. But you could do conditional approval. They're approved to attend upon condition of.
Yeah, as long as they know some more clauses about what happens, should we get.
So I asked upon the approval of the kindergarten students that can you please make sure that the conditional thing is.
Let me ask you a question though. We got 5. Let's say we got a spike and we got 6 new enrolled students. So now you're 1 over, right? So how do you make the decision that when you let 5 in and you've got your 1 over? See what I mean?
I believe at that point you what you would do is you would go to the ones that were the last applications received and systematically go back and say, okay, we're over enrollment here. These 3 students have to go.
Mrs. McCullough, how many do we usually get from the registration? I mean, I know it varies from year to year, but what would be your average?
It does vary. We have our kindergarten roundup and kindergarten registration, but we've been averaging 1 a week the last 3-4 weeks of school at the end of the year. So, it's just really hard to say with how transient the population, but our school registration isn't until that 3rd week in August. So, and we usually do get a couple that have either moved in or, whose parents, might decide at the last minute that they want to send their kindergartner, or I'd say the chances are good that we can get 3 or 4 people. The accreditation standard is 20 per class. Right. And right now we have 2 1/2 kindergarten classes. We have a T1 kindergarten combination again this year.
What happens if, say we had 5 new ones came in, so we have to let these 5 be out of the school because they're out of the district, and then you still get some more kindergarten kids that are in the district?
You're hiring a teacher.
You don't have any leeway there at captain.
You're hiring a teacher. Or you're bringing an aide in. We have a couple of options. One is to hire a new teacher on, create another section, and reduce the subclass sizes to the other couple of sections that you have. Or what you could end up doing is hiring a teacher's aide and placing in that classroom to reduce the pressure. State accreditation standards have a formula as to, how many students you need. It's 20, and usually you can hire an aide up until like 24, 25, and then you're required to have a teacher at 26.
I guess I was just wondering that if they've had the problem even without the out-of-district students, and we ended up having to hire a teacher, then could these out-of-district apply again?
So it's most likely they would have already taken another school.
Well, we have a couple of families here who have other siblings that are already going to school, and that would make it really difficult for the family to go to school. So it'd be my choice to accept them with the possibility that things might change once we have regular registration, which is good, fall 3rd week in August.
Yeah, it's usually, I think it's 17th. August 17th.
I think that's my preference as well. I think it's a good problem to have.
Yes.
It's so remote that the scenario would happen.
Yeah. But just as soon as you don't plan for it, then.
Yeah, that's true. But who wants to tell a little kid, well, we got you in school unless this happens? We should know pretty much that they're coming.
And 2, you've seen the size of these classrooms, 20 active little bodies. It's a lot, so, even now I'm getting a little bit of, just without these out of district, that, I'm finding some reality that it would be in the best interest of the students that we rather I might as well. Yeah.
Now, it's got to go on here.
Mrs. Appleby wants to know if, I know we have some of those families here that have kindergartners that are applying. I know that probably puts you into a stress level that you don't want to have to deal with, but if that were to happen, you can understand that as a board, we don't have a choice. I mean, it's within our out-of-district policy that, I mean, it's not that we would necessarily, I mean, it gives us leeway to decide whether or not we can turn that student away or hire another individual or another teacher, but, would you be willing to accept the fact that tonight we would admit your child with that condition, I guess, is the question.
You guys have to do what you have to do, and we would understand.
I thought we were doing it without the condition.
No,
I think we've had a discussion here where, if I'm correct, Mel has pretty much said, let's get it done.
That's what I
And
think too.
So
assure
you're saying
them.
Yeah,
we're not gonna have it?
And I could add this, just so the board's aware. If you are of the opinion as a board that you don't want to go down the road of saying, we're going to do this on an if, let's make a decision tonight, and you were determined to say, can you make your budget work by hiring a new teacher on, if need be? I will tell you this, we do have supply budgets. We have tried to protect and we've tried to defend these supply budgets throughout this process because we have not seen supply budgets increase in over a decade now. So with inflationary costs, we've seen our spending power for supplies shrink. I could go into supply budgets and find money if I had to hire a teacher, but that would mean that much more of a shrinkage, and it would mean the classrooms would really be strapped for their supplies for next year. But it would do it for the sake of making sure we had kids in the system. On the flip side, with the increased enrollment, we will see that you have that bump in A and B the next year that when the second year out is called full school. So it's kind of a complex process to think through as to how you rationalize and justify the decision you might have to make.
To me, it's not just a bump next year.
No, it's okay. We just, I have kids here that go currently, and spend half time with me and my ex-wife. And Emily is Jen's daughter, and we search and search and search to try to find a house in Florence that worked for our family. With everybody, it's 5 people, and my mom's living with 6 people. And so the closest we could find was Log Cabin Lane, and we're like 2 houses away from where, the cutoff is, which, it's kind of hard to, deal with. But, we are definitely one of the families that would have to split up, her siblings going to here, and then she'd be potentially looking at another school, which, my kids have gone here since, kindergarten, and, we really do prefer this school over other schools. But that being said, do understand, you guys have to do what you have to do. And I guess if that was the case, we'd either have to try to find something in the district or look at different options. But